Welcome to the first edition of From the Baseline, where I will bring you up to date with all the things not happening at the Northcote Tennis Club. Firstly, apologies for the fact that I've not had my makeup and hair done, which is due to the lockdown, and I must assure you I look better than this when I have. And secondly, I make an apologies in advance for any editing issues, but I had a very limited choice of editing for this production. Over the next few weeks, I hope to bring you a number of tennis stories from around the globe. But to help make this thing work, I need your assistance. So any stories you have, can you please send them through? Coming up on the next couple of shows, I'm focusing on ex-players who have gone overseas. We have Paige, who's now back in Auckland on the next show, along with Luke, who's straight out of New York. Lauren's in Arkansas, and she'll feature shortly. And we've also got Gemma and Stella, who are back at home. And finally, Paul Willie from the Gold Coast is also going to tell us what's happening in Australia. After that, we're going to look at the interclub season. Kirsty is currently analysing all the results from the season, and I'll talk to members of all the winning teams to see why they were graded too low for the last season. And I know a lot of you are taking the time currently to reflect on your lives and thinking, wow, can't I contribute more to my tennis community? Hey, have I got some opportunities for you? I'll be telling you about what great opportunities are coming up in the next tennis year where you can help contribute to the growth of the Northcote Tennis Club. And I've got one other special event coming up. Oh, sorry, this is not my putting green, but actually the green carpet for a night you will not want to miss. The first annual Northcote Tennis Club Black Tie Awards Dinner. We'll be handing out awards for the good, the bad and the ugly of the last season, and we hope to stream it to you in a couple of weeks. This section is called Tip of the Day, and what I'm after is some great tips from everyone on how to cope with our time in lockdown. So I'm providing you with our first tip. As you can see, I'm a finely tuned athlete, and I know there's many other athletes out there who've been used to going to the gym and can no longer go. So, I've got a great solution. 2 milk bottles. Fill them up with water and do your exercises. You can have different size bottles or put different stuff in, different amounts of water inside them. And you, too, could end up as a finely tuned athlete. Today's special guest on the couch is club captain Andrew. I'm going to ask him the question I'm going to ask everybody throughout this program, and that is, will you end up fitter or fatter out of this 4 weeks of holiday? So Andrew, fit or fat? Definitely fit. Me and Dusty are doing the on our little Shoal Bay walk at least once a day. Okay Andrew, thanks. Unfortunately, this is the last edition of On the Couch. As due to the lockdown, no one else is allowed on my couch, apart from Dusty, and he really is a little bit shy to interview. However, I've got good news. I've got a new interview coming up called Over the Fence. Over the Fence will ideally be recorded on Zoom. However, if you've got a low picket fence and are not too far from Birkenhead, I could, wearing my PPE, come and conduct the interview over the fence. So if you've got a story and really you can't be more boring than the last guy I interviewed, give me a call and we'll set something up. No names, but Julie Patterson, CEO of New Zealand Tennis, you owe me a favour. Greg Martin, you've gone Bear Grylls, so I want to see some pictures or video of what's happening out on the farm. And of course Deanne, we're all missing her, so we will definitely have Deanne on the show in the near future. So get in touch if you've got a story to tell, and I'll be in contact with you. Just wait. Oh, just wait. I have a producer in my ear. Julie Patterson's ready. Okay guys, Julie Patterson's ready to go on air now, so here she is. Okay, with me now is Julie Patterson, CEO of Tennis New Zealand. Thanks for joining me at such short notice, Julie.
No problem.
Okay, Julie's a member of the Northcote Tennis Club and has been with Tennis New Zealand for 1.5 years.
2.5, coming up 3 years in July.
Oh my gosh.
Time flies, eh?
Fly, eh? Okay. Okay, Julie, how's life treating you under lockdown?
Well, so far so good. I've got a home office set up downstairs, so that's been a real saving grace for me and everyone in the house. I think it's been good to have an area where I can get away. It's been pretty busy, but I'll come to that a bit later. But yeah, we've got 2 teenagers at home, and my husband is at home as well, so he's keeping the kids occupied upstairs, and I'm really kind of sticking pretty much to my usual work routine, and then coming back upstairs to join the rest of the family later on in the day.
Okay, Julie, my big question is fat or fit?
Oh, I'm aiming for fit.
Fit. Okay, cool. Okay, I hear from China that the divorce lawyers are doing a roaring trade now that the lockdown's been lifted there. So I'm thinking of training myself up to be a divorce lawyer over the next 4 weeks. Do you think you could be my first client?
Oh, I certainly hope not. No, I think I'm a bit lucky in that, as I said, I'm continuing work, so I'm away from everyone else for a good chunk of the day, and that's helping. Good routines and just trying to stick to what we're used to doing. Yeah, so cool. No, hopefully not, but I think it's a great idea, Andrew.
Okay, I suppose looking at tennis as a sport, I imagine we're probably one of the luckiest sports in New Zealand in that our season was pretty much finished when this is hit. But how did Tennis New Zealand sort of manage the crisis, and how did you sort of work with the other organisations over the sort of last few weeks?
Yeah, you're absolutely right. And talking to a number of the other sports, of course, we've been in contact with other NSO CEOs on a pretty regular basis. And there are some sports in some very dire straits, those sports that are heading into their major winter seasons now. It's going to be a real challenge for them. We were very fortunate as a sport and as Tennis New Zealand that we had just come out of our really busy event season. Almost got to the end of Interclub, and we had the bulk of our funding in the bank. Again, other sports have been hit. They have been lining up their annual grant applications at the moment through for any gaming trust organisations, and there won't be any gaming trust distributed into sport for the next foreseeable future, I would say. So we've been pretty fortunate. I think so. Where we started out, the last week has just been a real blur. The week prior to that, we started planning and preparing. We started thinking around what tennis was going to have to do at the various levels of the government alert systems. We started planning for working from home, and so the Monday prior to level 3 being implemented, we had already had that was our trial work day at home. We had all of our IT systems in place. We had Zoom up and running. We've got Microsoft Teams working. So we were checking all of our systems and technology to make sure that everyone was going to be comfortable and able to stay connected. So that was stage 1. Stage 2 after that has been very much around our forecasting, thinking about our financials through to the end of this financial year at the end of June. We have weekly Zoom calls with all of the regions, so the regional CEOs, just to check in to see what we're doing and making sure that we're able to disseminate information to them that I'm getting on my weekly update calls with both Sport New Zealand and Active Auckland, who are the regional sporting trust for Auckland. And so making sure that we're staying connected. I also have weekly updates with all of the facility managers and major facilities throughout the country. So it's really been a matter of trying to figure out how everyone's coping, making sure that we're getting information out. And we're at the very early stages now of planning what our next 4-week, 8-week and 12-week plan might look like for when we're able to reactivate tennis. So we need to think and be ready and be prepared for all of the support that we can put out to the clubs the minute that we get the green light to be able to play tennis again.
Yeah, and just confirming that effectively all clubs are locked down now.
That is right. Unfortunately, I'm still getting complaints from people saying that they're seeing people playing at tennis clubs. All tennis clubs should be closed, and there should be no tennis being played at the moment. We're in it, I don't need to repeat what the government is saying. It's so important that we get this right so that we don't have to stay in lockdown any longer than necessary.
Yeah, okay. Okay, Julie, thanks for that. It's really interesting to get the update and to probably understand how lucky tennis is as a sport in this country. You hear the football is possibly off for the whole season for some juniors potentially.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Really tough.
Yeah, so yeah, we are very lucky. I mean, we had almost come to the end of our summer season, all but a week or a couple of weeks. I think certainly from a financial perspective, the next 12 months are an absolute unknown, and we need to all be thinking really hard, I think, about how we, and this is, a conversation that we need to have nationally. How can we reduce duplication? How can we reduce overheads? How can we offer our sport up to people in a different way? We've talked about it for a number of years, and there has been, in some instances, not all, but there, in some instances, a real resistance to being a lot more customer focused and market driven around how we offer our sport up. But I think in the coming months, we're going to have to think really hard about how we continue to reduce barriers for people participating in sport. If you were to go out to a family now and say, okay, I need you to pay $900 by the end of the month to get your full membership and locked in place, there's going to be a lot of questions asked about that. So how can we do this differently? How can we get subs paid differently? How can we change membership so that it's not locked into a full 12-month period? How do we have more casual play opportunities? How, all of those questions are things that we all need to be thinking really hard about, and as much as possible, not just rolling out things how we've always done it because that's the way we've always done it. We need to be thinking differently going into this new environment.
Okay. Cool, Julie, thanks for that. Just to finish, I thought I'd talk about your tennis. You're relatively new to the sport, became a member, I think, is it 3 seasons at Northcote now? And what I have noticed is your tennis has improved significantly this season. A few good wins on the board in recent times. So just wondering why you've improved so much. I'm wondering, is it due to the outstanding captaincy of the captain of your interclub team, maybe? Or possibly that guy, Steve Downs, and his coaching?
Well, firstly, I'd just like to say thank you so much for noticing, Andrew. I'd have to say that I'm feeling a lot more confident and comfortable and loving my tennis, absolutely loving my tennis. And no doubt at all my thanks goes to Steve. He's been outstanding.
Oh, I think that's enough, Julie. That's it today. Thanks for the time anyway. We'll talk later. Okay, cheers.
Thanks, Andrew.
On a more serious note, what we're going through now is likely to be one of the most defining events of our lifetimes. So if there's anyone out there has got any issues or you need any help on anything, please get in touch with me, because within our club we've got members who have got skills in pretty much every area, and I'm sure they'll all be happy to help you. So just drop me a note, give me a call if there's anything anyone can help you with, and I'm sure we'll be able to sort you out. Okay, thanks for watching the first episode of From the Baseline. I promise next time I won't be doing quite so much talking, and you'll have at least one more interesting guest than you had this time. So be safe out there, stay at home, and look after everyone around you, and we'll see you next time From the Baseline. Cheers.